We all know and love Halloween. It's celebrated in many countries around the world, with the most famous celebrations, of course, being in the United States. But it's also the time to remember the dead, including the saints, martyrs, and faithful departed. Many traditions from Halloween seem to originate from the ancient Celtic harvest festivals, particularly from the Gaelic festival Sahwin. Sahwin is written as Samhain, but it's pronounced as Sahwin. Today I would like to take a look into the origins of Samhain, what the festivities were in ancient times as far as we know, how Samhain is sometimes portrayed in the media, and how Samhain is still celebrated today, sometimes even at ancient monuments like Stonehenge or others around the world. What is Samhain? It's an ancient Gaelic festival marking the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. It's traditionally celebrated from the sunset of October 31st until the sunset of November 1st, as the Celtic day used to start and end at sunset. In the southern hemisphere, Samhain is celebrated from the sunset of May 31st until sunset on June 1st. Historically, it was widely celebrated throughout Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and Isle of Man. The origins of Samhain go all the way back to the Neolithic passage tombs in Ireland. Some of them are aligned with the sunrise or sunset around the time of Samhain. It is mentioned in some of the earliest Irish literature, and a lot of important events in Irish mythology happened around Samhain. Samhain was seen as a threshold, a time when the boundary between this world and the other world could be crossed. The other world in Celtic mythology is the realm of the deities and possibly the dead. This means that the gods, the spirits, and the fairies could more easily come into our world. At Samhain, it was believed that offerings of food and drink needed to be left outside for the visitors. The souls of the dead were thought to revisit their homes seeking hospitality. Mumming and guising were a part of the festival. It involved people going door to door in disguise, reciting verses in exchange for food. The costumes may have been a way to disguise themselves from the spirits. In medieval Ireland, the festival marked the end of the season for the harvest, trade, and warfare. It was a time for tribal gatherings, which are incredibly popular settings for early Irish tales. In most media these days, they leave out a lot of the ritualistic Samhain celebrations and focus more on the Halloween aspect of the day. The costumes, the parties, the trick-or-treating. But there are shows like Outlander that show the ritualistic side that ties into the legends, the traditions, and pagan groups and their connection to the ancient monuments. In the show, the main character Claire and her husband Frank sneak up to the standing circle of stones called Craig na Dun, where on the morning of Samhain, a group of female druids do a secretive mystical ritualistic sun dance. Some people say this is the best slow-motion druid dancing scene in television, complete with Celtic music. And, to be completely honest, I have to agree with that statement. Since the 20th century, the neo-pagans and Wiccans have started to see Samhain as a religious holiday. The modern rituals surrounding the celebrations of Samhain include bonfires, dancing, feasting, and building altars to honor the deceased ancestors. Leaving offerings of bread and alcoholic beverages outside your door to keep the spirits outside is still being done by some. Many of the neo-pagans and Wiccans will celebrate Samhain at ancient sites. Among these sites are the standing stones of Stonehenge, where they hold a celebration of Samhain. It includes ritual aspects of modern paganism and refers to Orcadian traditions and folklore. It's inclusive and designed to be accessible for people of all religions and beliefs. The ceremony acknowledges the final harvest of the year, acknowledgement of the ancestors, and to review your life and shed all that doesn't benefit you or others. This particular ceremony tends to be more quiet, as this time is to honor and remember those who have died, particularly those whom are lost in the past year. At Stonehenge, the first neo-Druidic group to make use of the megalithic monument were the ancient Order of the Druids, who performed a mass initiation ceremony in 1905. Ritual use of Stonehenge is currently heavily restricted, but some pagan groups have been able to arrange their ceremonies at Stonehenge on Samhain, but it's not accessible to everyone. In Ireland at Loughrea, the chamber and passage of the Mount Cairn El are aligned with the sunrise of Samhain. The light of the rising sun will illuminate the standing stone within the mound. Unfortunately, Cairn El is closed to the public. Celebrations can no longer be held here. At the Hill of Tara, also in County Meath, is the Mound of Hostages. During the sunrise of Samhain, the light illuminates the inner chamber. From the Hill of Tara, at a distance of about 13 miles, is the Hill of Clogda. This is where in ancient times the Great Fire was lit. In modern times, torches are carried to the hill of Clogda on Sahwin to once again light the fire and mark the start of the new Celtic year. Since there are many kinds of neo-paganism, the Samhain celebrations differ quite a lot. Some groups try to emulate the historic festival as much as possible, while other neo-pagans bear their celebrations on unrelated sources. For instance, some Irish pagans pick some elements of the historic Samhain celebrations and take parts of the Celtic history and thus created an entirely new festival of Samhain that originated in modern times. And this was my short look into Samhain. If you enjoyed watching, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of these kind of videos and click the bell icon for notifications every time I upload. If you haven't seen my previous videos yet, then click the card in the upper right corner or click the link in the description down below. I also want to thank my patrons, Richard, Barry and NGC6543. And for now, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.